Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hardly moved since yesterday, since we had the fake out news by the SEC, who apparently did not use 2FA on their X network account, which is a bit embarrassing for the SEC, I would say. So there are now speculations about, okay, do they have to investigate themselves for market manipulation? Because obviously they tweeted that whoever compromised the account tweeted that the ETFs had been approved, which was obviously fake news. Well, I would argue, it's quite embarrassing if they have to, because they didn't use 2FA. So basically, it's their fault. So we'll see. I mean, again, I don't hope and I don't necessarily think the ETFs would be delayed because of that. I think that would be a bit unreasonable. But if they want to delay them or decline them, it might be because of other reasons. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, nobody knows if they will be approved or declined. I think it is sort of priced in and expected that they are going to be approved. Nevertheless, whatever the news is, be aware that there will be significant volatility today. We've already seen a little bit a few days ago and yesterday, and I warned about that as we were heading into the week, that we have to expect irrational volatility. So it could be today, and that's just a clear warning, it could be today that some waves or wave counts are going to be invalidated. The waves might test their extremes. We might see some short-term distortions. For example, B waves can significantly overshoot, even more so in a scenario where we have a significant news event short-term. News events rarely change the trend. They rarely change the trend, but the difficulty at the moment is that, we could see a significant drawdown, for example, in short-term volatility on the Bitcoin chart, even without changing the trend. Because the yellow box on the daily time frame, when we talk about Fibonacci levels, that's still the main support. So technically, 34K is still support. So yeah, we're now at 45. So that means significant volatility is possible within the current scenario. Okay, so the market has basically left it quite open. It's quite interesting that the market has moved in a way that leaves support at 34,000, allowing still upside movement because my next target is still 50,000 plus. But in the short term, obviously, the market could test the support area once again and then rally. This is all short-term speculation stuff. There's no point in trying to waste our brain cells on, okay, what's going to happen after the ETF approval? Nobody knows. We don't even know if they are going to be approved. I think they will be. But I posted it already a few days ago on Telegram Discord for channel members what my view is. We shouldn't take for granted that they will just surge. They could do, and it would fulfill my targets to the upside. But there is just still space to the downside. But that's, we don't even need ETF news for that. It's just what the chart is telling us anyway. Okay, so within the current scenario, that it could be that we test the yellow box again. Let's talk about that on the shorter time frame count, or scenario or time frame. But further upside is certainly still my primary scenario in this current fifth wave of either wave A or 3. So one more high is expected. Now that could be we do it more directly and we have a micro support level to watch on the smaller time frame, or we test the lower support and then go a little higher. Both possible, and they are part of the same scenario, and the market will have to show us if there is a pullback. I can tell you if there is a pullback. Bear in mind, as analysts, we cannot foresee the future, but as analysts and traders, we can understand what is support, what is resistance, what are the current expectations, and prepare for different scenarios. So my view is, it's all about adaptability. If there is a pullback or a deeper pullback, I would use that to buy. So personally. Okay, so let's go to the smaller time frame. Here we have one scenario in which the low in this current wave 4 is already in. We're moving up in this fifth wave in a ending diagonal in this wave 5. And this is one scenario that's short-term bullish. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Short-term bearish, before we go into the detailed scenario and take a look at the micro count. Short-term bearish is, wave 3 finished, but wave 4 is still unfolding. This was an A wave. This here is a high B wave which is possible. It's a bit ridiculous, but you get these high B waves in crypto. And the move down could be a C wave. And it might not take us to 34K, but even 39K would be a significant drawdown. And what is the support level that needs to break to confirm that? For me, it's $43,617. A break below that level, for me, would indicate that we are moving down, most likely, it's not guaranteed, but most likely in the C wave. There is, unfortunately, it's not a reliable structure we're dealing with. It's not a reliable structure. This structure is prone to changes, adjustments. So when we talk about the smaller time frame, it's essential to remain flexible. We don't have a clear 1-2 setup or anything here. This is a wave 3-4 in a diagonal, completely messy structure, nothing that I would trade in the short term. It's not that we have an invalidation point there or anything, you know. Invalidation is down here, which is at 42,487. Yeah, this is the wave 2 low. But yeah, we have to remain flexible. You know, at some point, I recommended already a while ago just to trade the higher time frame here. Okay, basically scale in as the price drops, scale out a bit as the price increases. Basically grid trading in this range for anybody who wants to do it, but not trying to trade the single waves. It's likely going to lead to a reduced portfolio. Yeah, so that's just sort of something that we have to consider in these ranges, especially when we're dealing with a scenario in which we are in an ending diagonal. Okay, and it's just a messy structure, especially then yesterday's distortions haven't made it easier. But 3 waves could be complete. So if we say, yep, the 4th wave completed here, yep, maybe with a question mark, the 4th wave is still unfolding. But at the moment, because the price broke out and is holding support, let's focus on higher as long as support is holding. And this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2 of 5. The wave 3 reached yesterday during the SEC fluctuations, the ideal target for a 3rd wave. Found that quite funny. And now we could be in the 4th wave. That's the best count I can give you. Yeah, maybe even the B wave extends a bit. And then we should see that C wave down to complete wave 4. Ideally not breaking below 43,617. I increased the size of the box a little bit during these. I'll take the top off because we don't need that. I increased the size a bit, giving a little bit more space on a volatile day like that, because I think we could see some distortions. And as long as support is holding, one more wave 5 to possibly 50K roughly is what we can watch for. But again, you know, at some point we're going to get out of this range, and that is when things are going to get more interesting again. Things are going to get clearer again. And ETH is already getting very interesting. Yeah, but this is just still a mess. And you can also use this trend channel here. So the price is still moving in this price channel, in this trend channel that you might call an expanding wedge. So again, if we break Fibonacci support, it might be reasonable to watch for support here at the ascending trend line. It's basically a range. It's a range in a slowly upward trending channel, but I don't have a very good, well, I have a good view of the micro count. It's just that it's a count where we have to remain flexible. We're not dealing with an impulse there. We are dealing with possibly a correction in a high B wave or an ending diagonal. Again, my choice is as long as we're holding support, I'm watching for higher because the market respects quite well the Fibonacci levels. But if support breaks, which can easily happen today, then pay attention to the lower boundary line of the trend channel and then the 39,360 level next, which would be the first line of support in wave 4. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.